Hello everyone. So this is the third video of my NGINX series. In this video, I am going to explain you how you can set up your own custom domain inside NGINX, how you can connect your custom domain to your AWS EC2 instance so that your EC2 instance reacts, respond whenever your custom domain get accessed. Apart from this, I will also explain you how you can enable HTTPS for your website and how you can redirect your all of your traffic of HTTP to HTTPS. By the end of this video, your website will be clean, secure and ready for production. So let's get started. As you can see here, these are the topics which we have covered in our earlier video, but in this video I am going to explain to you this topic like how to set up custom domain in Nginx, talk about something HTTPS and SSL, and finally convert HTTP website to HTTPS. So first things first, if you want to set up your custom domain in Nginx, you will first have to have your own domain. So right now, this is my domain. As you can see, yesbuilds.in. So I'm going to connect this domain to this instance which is currently running. This is my AWS root user account. So for connecting that domain to this instance, first we need to copy this instant IPv4 address, and I go to domain, and after here I go to manage. This is my hostinger account, and you can use GoDaddy also. So inside this manage DNS record, I copy paste here my public IP address of AWS account, and I click on add record. It record already exists, so I'm going to delete this because yes, and I'm going to add record here, so it is freshly created now. But before that, I show you that, let's say I copy paste this website here. This is my website shown to you. It is currently not secure because it is running on HTTP. If I select all, copy here, and I paste into new tab, you will see it is currently running on HTTP. So what we have to do is we have to go inside this instance. So let's say I go to connect, and here I go inside my root user file, root config file. So inside I go to sudo, and where the root config file exists. So this is the file part of the root config file of this instance. So yes, I go to inside this. So as you can see, this is my website configuration. So I click on insert and here just below the port number, the listen line, I write server name, and what's my domain name. I write here yesbuilds.in, and yes, www.yesbuilds.in, and I click semicolon. Before that, I want to tell you that you should write server name just below the listen line, which is very important. So I going to click ESC and semicolon. WQ means save and exit, and I run this command now, sudo systemctl reload nginx, system reload nginx, wait apart, sudo systemctl reload nginx. So as you see, this has been finished now. So if I go to my private window, and if I search here yesbuilds.in, I will be redirected to my website. If I go redirected to my website, but it is still on HTTP, not HTTPS. If you see here, it is, if I control A, control C, it is still HTTP. So as you can see here, these are the things which we have recently finished hands-on, and as you can see, these are the things that how work. Like you, if you are a client, you send HTTP request, or any request to your application server. It first go to Nginx. Nginx act as a middleman between them, and then Nginx accept it or not accept it, and then send back to application server, and then applications server sent back your response to Nginx, and then Nginx finally sent response to you, means client. So what is HTTPS? HTTPS is basically a secure version of HTTP that encrypts data between your browser and a website, making it safe from hacker. It uses SSL TLS to protect sensitive information like password and credit card details. SSL full form is basically secured socket layer, and TLS is basically transport layer security. TLS is a successor version of SSL. So if you, so let's say user types a domain name, let's say he types https builds, and behind the scenes the browser asks for DNS, then DNS returns your EC2 IP, browser send request to EC2, Nginx handles request and responds back to the browser. Basically DNS bring traffic to server and Nginx decide what to do with it. So the final topic is how to enable HTTP from HTTP. So first things first, what we have to do is we have to install certbot. Certbot is basically a tool that automates SSL certificate generation, installation and renewal using Let's Encrypt. If I search here, Let's Encrypt, it's basically a website which gives you a certificate of TLS certificate, which make it easy for website to enable HTTPS encryption. So we are going to automate all of this process. So as you can see, these are the commands used to install certbot. But since I'm using AWS Amazon Linux, I use this command. I copy paste here. I copy paste here. So I press enter. As you can see here, this has been installed, finally completed. Now what we have to do is we have to basically run this final command. This command is a hero. I mean, this command is single-handedly talk to Let's Encrypt, verify domain, generate SSL certificate, auto configure your Nginx. You don't have to edit your root config file, and finally enable HTTPS. So this is a very useful command. This automates all the process. So let's say if I copy paste the command, here I do some edit. You write www.yes dudes.in. Also I do big edit here. Yes dudes.in. After that I click on enter. You see it's requesting right now. Basically successfully deployed certificate. Here you see all of your certificates. Now what we have to do is we have to copy this file part to know where my certificates are exist, and I copy here. But first I click sudo su. Now I click cd. Here entry. I click here my domain name. Not click, edit here my domain name. Yes builds.in. So here you can see I click ls here. Now these are the files which are inside this file. Yes good. Here you can see it's your certificate files. It's your change certificate file. Then it's your combination of change certificate and your main certificate, and it's your private key. Now what we have to do is we have to go inside our root config file. Let's say etc nginx nginx.conf. Here you see all of the many things were automatically edited. Now here what we have to do inside our server block I have to edit here. Side I paste here, return. It means basically redirect permanently all the HTTP requests to HTTPS. This is my domain name. So I click on ESC WQ. You see, save and exit. And I again use sudo systemctl reload nginx Now what we have to do is we have to check that our public IP address is running or not on HTTPS. So if I paste here, you can see it's running on HTTPS. And let's say I open a private window. I again paste here my public IP address. You can see it's still redirected to HTTPS. Even if I edit here and write HTTP and press enter, it's still opens on HTTPS. And step if I write here yes builds.in, simply it's still open on HTTPS. Even if I write here www.yesbuilds.in, it will still open on HTTPS. So yeah, instead of manually configuring SSL and we using alternative method standalone, we use certbot with the NGINX plugin, which automates the entire HTTP process. And also you can use this command which automatically renew your certificates every 90 days. So if I copy paste in my terminal, you will see it will processing stimulating, and you can see it has been finished. Congratulations, all the stimulated renewals succeeded. So what we have done so far is we have set up custom Nginx domain in Nginx, understand what is HTTPS and SSL, and finally converted HTTPS traffic to HTTPS. So that's it for now. Thank you for watching this video.